watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
Good morning to you here on this Monday and December 1st. So glad you're with us. I'm Eric Connor at 6 a.m.
And I'm Netta Iran for you. Thank you for starting off your week with us. After a holiday, I know it gets a little tough to get back in the rhythm, but hey, we got you covered here. Let's send it over to meteorologist Evan Noorani. And yeah, what a holiday week it was. I mean, the weather was perfect.
It was so nice, especially Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, last week.
Warm.
Weekend, we cooled down only slightly. I also, for December 1st, I would break out.
It's December.
My Christmas tree.
That's how you know. You don't even have to look at the calendar. You just look at your tie.
Well, I figured I'm like, it's a very limited opportunity for me to be able to wear this, so I wanted to take as much advantage of it as I could. December 1st, you would normally think that this would kind of kick off a much more winter bout of weather for us in San Diego. Doesn't seem like that'll be the case aside from a little bit of morning fog that we have out there. Reduced visibility in Fallbrook and Ramona, so pocketed fog, especially off toward our inland valleys. This afternoon, though, mostly sunny conditions. Temperatures in the upper 60s along the coast and low 70s inland. Will be a few degrees cooler than average through about midweek, and then we'll be warming up. We'll talk more about that weekend warm up and about the midweek slump we have with those cooler temperatures in the mix. We'll talk about what'll be causing it all. Back to you.
All right, Evan, thank you very much. And now, if you are heading home from a holiday weekend today, you might want to check that flight status.
Yeah, a new winter storm causing trouble at some airports across the country. CBS 8's Regina Yarita live at San Diego International to see if that's having any impact here. Regina.
Yeah, good morning, Eric and Netta. Not so much here, but we have been hearing about disruptions in other states and other airports that have become a ripple effect for travelers who are probably arriving to the San Diego International Airport. So we've been monitoring the flight board this morning. Things seem to be running smoothly, but as mentioned, there haven't been any weather problems here in San Diego. That's not the case in other parts of the country. Winter weather are causing delays and cancellations that could potentially create a ripple effect for travelers nationwide. The San Diego airport saw yesterday the busiest day of the Thanksgiving holiday travel period with an estimated 90,000 people moving through. So that's something to keep in mind as you are heading to the San Diego International Airport this morning, or if you are arriving. The biggest recommendation that airport officials are saying is that you continue to check your flight status. But here's what other things airport officials are saying.
The aviation system is really interconnected, and it can have a domino effect. So you can be outrightly impacted even without being in that area that's seeing weather.
Now, again, haven't seen much issues here at the San Diego airport. We'll continue to monitor what things are looking like this morning, but so far we continue to see travelers heading into the airport. TSA line seems to be running smoothly as well. For now, I'll send it back to you.
Thank you very much, Regina, for keeping eyes on that. Right now, San Diego police are looking for the driver who hit and killed a pedestrian in Middletown and then took off. It happened just before midnight Saturday near the intersection of India and West Upas Streets. Police say the driver of a silver or gray sedan was approaching a green light when the pedestrian then entered the car's path. Officers responded to the scene and rushed the 60-year-old pedestrian to the hospital, where he later died. Please call Crime Stoppers if you have any information.
This morning, a man is under arrest in connection with a hit-and-run crash that killed a boy in Escondido. 44-year-old Hector Balderas was arrested over the weekend and will be arraigned on Wednesday. 11-year-old Aiden Torres was playing soccer outside of his home on Wednesday night when his family says the ball rolled into the street. As Aiden ran after it, officers say the driver hit him, then took off. Aiden later died at Rady Children's Hospital. Aiden's family says the support from the community means everything.
The family thanks everybody, the community, everybody who's donated to the GoFundMe, prayers that we've gotten, all the shares. I think that's all we can ask right now is for that continued support.
A fundraiser set up for the family has now raised nearly $19,000. All right, well, if you drive solo in the carpool lane with a decal on your electric vehicle, well, that perk ends today.
That decal won't cut it. The California Highway Patrol says drivers will now face fines. CBS 8's Chris Crow joining us live in Mira Mesa to explain the reason behind the change. Yes, starting today, Chris. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. And look, this first went all into effect back in October, but CHP said, look, we know so many people go ahead and use this decal program that it's going to change quite some time to change behavior. So there's going to be this 60-day grace period where it'll be more informational. Now, you're risking a $490 fine. Yes, because this program is ending, if you continue to drive solo as an EV driver in the carpool lane, you face a nearly $500 ticket. That is going to be a hefty hit there to the budget. Now, the reason why that this is ending, well, the Clean Air Vehicle Decal program is ending because of Congress's failure to extend the HOV Lane Exemption Reauthorization Act, which would have allowed states to allow single occupancy carpool lane access to clean air vehicles. But because it wasn't extended, this is no longer a possibility. Now, this is also coming at a time that we are seeing a number of EV benefits going away, like the loss of federal EV tax credits and so forth. So starting today, remember, if you have that EV decal, do not get into that carpool lane, especially because a lot of us right now no longer on vacation, right? We're all going back to work, that morning commute. Things can get a little bit trafficky. Unless you're about to go pick up a buddy and then take them into the carpool lane, you will be breaking the law. So remember, $490 ticket, not something you want here just before the other holidays coming up. Eric and Netta.
Yeah, that is a hefty ticket. Ooh, don't want that. Thank you, Chris. This morning, San Diego FC's historic inaugural season is over.
Quite the season, though, right?
Yeah.
They lost to Vancouver in the MLS Cup Playoffs Western Conference Finals on Saturday night. SDFC fell 3-1 with San Diego's only goal scored by Chucky Lozano. Head coach Mike Ibarras says the team is proud of what they accomplished.
Nobody can take away the season that these guys did. Nobody can ever take that away from them. And, you know, I think they made a city dream. They made the whole region dream. We were one step away from MLS Cup. Each and every one of us is going to carry this a little bit with us. And we're going to carry it with us and use it as motivation to come back even stronger next season.
Yeah, I see the emotions there on the field, right? The team had 19 regular season wins and set a record for most points by an MLS expansion team in their inaugural season. So congratulations to San Diego FC. A big base now that you've gotten super pumped for next season.
Yeah.
Great things ahead for that group.
The fact that they sold out so quickly once they started getting there, I mean, it goes to show San Diego wants this.
Yes.
Yes.
For an inaugural season, that's impressive.
Right.
So we hope that next year they'll go even farther, and we'll all be out there at Snapdragon supporting them. So it's a start of a new week, sort of a new month too, December 1st here, and normally we'd expect much more winter-like weather to come around in San Diego, or at least for us to be able to kind of give in the forecast the notice of some wet weather on the way. That is not the case here. Instead, as we look through the next 7 and 10 days, it looks like we'll stay mainly dry in San Diego County. We are seeing a bit of that winter weather come through in terms of the cooler temperatures. You might have noticed some overnight lows dropping down to the 40s in many cases across our inland valleys. We're at 42 in San Luis Obispo right now. Monterey's at 40 degrees. Take a look at Mammoth at 18 and Flagstaff, Arizona at 23. But downtown San Diego is actually one of the warmest spots on the map of the southwestern U.S. as we make our way through the next several hours. We do have a little bit of fog out there across our inland valleys. Notice that this is that live look from Otay Mountain, looking toward the western slopes of the mountains where we have a little bit of that fog to contend with. That's going to allow for some reduced visibility for the morning commute, but aside from that, sunrise at 6:33, just about 25 minutes from now, shouldn't have much inhibitors. We should be looking pretty good. We do have that 15% chance for rain by Wednesday. This trough of low pressure is trying to make its way across the western U.S., but it's likely going to lose most of its moisture on the way, which means that, sure, we'll have that maybe 10 to 15% chance for rain. We'll get a little drop in temperatures between now and Wednesday, but it still seems like this will all culminate to a partly cloudy day on Wednesday as that trough is at its closest approach. Going into the end of the week, Thursday, Friday, and the upcoming weekend, temperatures warm back up to the low 70s. We are, in general, going to be on the cooler side of average and cooler than we were for most of last week, but it shouldn't cause much trouble out there. Still relatively mild overall. Let's check in on traffic. So far, drive times are not seeing much delay. Want to take you to the trouble spots that we're watching out for. First one, of course, is going to be the RB Poway area just because of that fog. That seems to be one of the areas where that fog is most dense. We also have a fresh crash that just popped up, blocking a lane on, looks like the state route or county route I-17. This is Hamishaw Boulevard that we're seeing some possible delays as you make your way westbound. Live look outside, the southbound 15. This is Poway Road. One of the spots where you might need to pump the brakes a little bit, not only because of the high volume, but also because of the reduced visibility. Otherwise, though, it doesn't seem like it's an issue, that fog that will stick around for much longer. Should have a pretty clear mid-morning. Let's check in on border wait times now on your Monday. San Ysidro, 75 minutes across the port of entry. Otay Mesa port of entry should only take you about an hour in total.